Guy, welcome back to the pink couch and to dreary Canada compared to your home base now in California.
Thanks very much. It's lovely to be here again. It's always a great joy to come by your office. And I have to tell you, last week was actually warmer in Toronto than it was in Los Angeles. So
that's a bit weird.
But it was very weird, very weird.
Very strange.
So it's good to be back. Thank you very much. Thank you.
You're welcome. And the river cruise market is endlessly fascinated. The developments, the interest level from the various markets in river cruising is incredible. Do you still see it growing and expanding?
No, absolutely. We've been very fortunate to be in a very strong segment for the last, I'd say, 5 to 10 years. Yeah. And it's really been growing dramatically. There's obviously been a lot of new ships launched in the last 3 to 4 years. So there is, in my opinion at the moment, quite a lot of capacity in the marketplace. One could almost argue a little bit too much. So I think as time progresses, we'll probably see a bit of a slowdown in terms of the number of new builds. But clearly there's still a lot of appetite and a lot of demand for river cruising. It is, as we know, a great experience, a great way to experience a destination. So I think as long as guests come back satisfied and the agencies continue to support river cruising, I still think there's a lot of growth left in our segment. So it's a good place to be.
So how do you manage that growth in capacity with your own strategy? How do you approach the market?
That's a great question. So I think with Uniworld it's a little bit different than some of our competitors because we've had a very consistent strategy over the years. So our view is we want to launch 1 to 2 new builds a year, which is what we've been achieving. We don't want to grow too fast. We want to be able to beautifully manage our growth and ensure that we always have great consistent service levels. So we also invest more per ship than our competitors. You were on the Maria Teresa recently, so you saw, yeah. Lovely. So we have beautiful original artwork, incredible design and decor. There's a huge investment that we make in our vessels. So and also the thing I should add is we don't take on outside debt, so it's all internally financed, and that in itself sort of limits the number of ships we're prepared to put out in the rivers any given time. So I think what I'd say is we've got consistent growth strategy. We don't want to grow too fast and want to make sure we can put out these beautifully one-of-a-kind ships, and we also want to make sure that as we grow we have the infrastructure and the staff to make sure we have the great service levels that we've achieved over the years.
Yeah, and very important, of course. You do have a standard to keep up, a very high one.
Exactly.
But you're branching into putting more emphasis on multi-generational travel, the family markets.
That's correct. So we've actually always had a program geared towards the multi-generational family programs. We've had it for about 6 or 7 years, but obviously it's growing now, and we've actually added a lot more departures. So this year we had 6 departures, and next year we have 13 departures. So as the father of 2 relatively young children, I've got a 10-year-old and a 6-year-old, I've done a number of river cruises with my family. And it's really a great way to see a destination. It's not, it's different to your typical family vacation where you might be, it's all about the entertainment and, swimming pools. This is more of a culture-driven vacation, and I think for parents that want to expose their children to culture and, the Europe as a destination is a great way to do it. And we're very proud of the program we're running. We get great feedback, and as I say, I've done it personally several times, and it is a wonderful way to travel with children or grandparents with their grandchildren.
And in Europe, wonderful experiences for the kids and the whole family.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
But you're branching into a lot of other markets as well over the last few years.
Sure. So obviously Europe continues to be our most important market. We probably have about 85% of our capacity concentrated in Europe, so that's always our bread and butter. But with the growth of river cruising and just us wanting to expand into new destinations, I mean mainly for our past guests that are looking for us to open up new destinations for them, we have gone into a lot of countries outside of Europe. So our most recent new program is in India.
How is that going?
Fantastic. Excellent. Yeah, no, it's been fantastic. It's a home run. We're launching in January of 2016. And for 2016 we're about 85% sold for the whole season.
Amazing.
So it's really sold very well, and it's a great destination for us.
Indeed. And anything else on the horizon as well?
Well, I should, this is almost breaking news, but in 2017 we'll be launching a new ship in France on the Seine. So we currently have 1 ship there, and we'll be adding a 2nd ship on the Seine in 2017. So that's our next project coming up for 17.
Excellent, lovely. And how are you finding the reception to Europe these days?
So to be quite frank, post the incidents in Europe, it's been a little bit slow. We fortunately did not have a lot of cancellations, but the new booking pace has been a little bit slower than we would normally experience this time of year.
And I guess you would expect that to some extent. It's good to hear that there weren't many cancellations.
No, absolutely, yeah. So, and we remain optimistic that come January after the holidays, I think people will be back in the mode of traveling, and we still expect to have a good year in 2016, but we're going to have to work a little bit harder given the capacity increases and also some of the events around the world. But, you know, as I always say, as long as we continue to offer a differentiated product and we give great service levels, we have a great loyal past guest base, so I think we will continue to be successful.
I'm sure you will. Yes,
Thank
best
you.
wishes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, thanks.